Buttermilk fried chicken, pulled pork eggs Benedict, fried green tomatoes, and homemade pecan pie. When it comes to Southern-style comfort food, nothing could be finer than the Sweet Peach Diner.
Come here with me.
Located along busy Trapelo Road in Belmont, the Sweet Peach is a cozy breakfast and lunch spot filled with hungry locals, friendly servers, and a whole lot of Southern hospitality, courtesy of owner Ellen Carter.
How you doing today, Lai? Yeah, we're gonna get you a cookie. Thanks for coming.
Ellen was born and raised in North Carolina, in a family where home-cooked meals were the norm, and she wanted to recreate that same wholesome family feeling at the Sweet Peach.
I grew up in a family where, at the end of the day, I came home and my mother cooked a homemade meal for my whole family. And so when I thought about opening a restaurant, all those memories of being at my family dinner table were what I wanted to simulate.
So Ellen filled the dining room with warm woods and painted the walls Carolina blue. And she filled the menu with many of the same family recipes she grew up eating.
This is the food that I know. This is what I understand. This is what I grew up with. This is my real home cooking.
Comfort food is all over the menu at the Sweet Peach, like a grilled cheese sandwich oozing with melty homemade pimento cheese, crispy and golden buttermilk fried chicken, sweet potato casserole topped with mini marshmallows, and Granny's mac and cheese made from a closely guarded family recipe.
It's very creamy, it's not baked. We do make the cheese sauce here, but I can't tell you all my secrets, so I'll have to keep that one for me.
When it comes to true Southern favorites, there's nothing quite like fried green tomatoes. And Ellen is quick to clear up a common misconception about this dish.
Well, a green tomato is not an unripe tomato. It's actually a different fruit. So we buy fresh, organic green tomatoes, slice them up, they get breaded and put in the fryer, then come out to you nice, hot, and fresh.
For a classic Southern snack, the boiled peanuts are a strangely addictive treat. They're moist and tender, a far cry from what you'd get at the ball game.
They're soft, so they don't have the crunch like you would find at Fenway. We'd have a huge bowl of them in my house, and all summer long, you're coming in and out of the kitchen, grabbing a handful of peanuts, and if you can break yourself away from the bowl once you've eaten one, you try to, but generally you end up with my whole family gathered around a bowl of peanuts trying to make sure you get to the last one.
Many of the recipes at Sweet Peach come from Ellen's mom, Susan, including one of her personal favorites, tomato pie.
It's just something I started making 10 or 15 years ago, and it's so unusual. It's a cream cheese crust, sliced tomatoes, lots of cheddar cheese, and a topping that's very rich and creamy, sour cream, mayonnaise, Parmesan, and then you bake it, and you eat it at room temperature, hot, cold, however you want it.
The Sweet Peach is a diner, not a barbecue joint, but that doesn't stop them from making one heck of a pulled pork sandwich, featuring meat that's slow roasted for 16 hours, then mixed with a traditional North Carolina-style vinegar sauce.
You get this huge pulled pork sandwich, and you take a bite, and you've just got juices and sauce and all this great stuff just coming out of it. So it's kind of a mess to eat, get lots of napkins, but it's totally worth it. It's delicious.
And that same great pulled pork makes an appearance on the breakfast menu, too, in a uniquely delicious Benedict, with a sinfully stacked buttermilk biscuit topped with a poached egg and pulled pork and finished with hollandaise and barbecue sauce. This is one dish that definitely gets customers' attention.
The reaction is just wow. You know, what is this? It's something nobody's ever seen before. I think people are pretty impressed, and then I think once they take their first bite is when they get really impressed.
Other breakfast standouts include a corned beef hash omelet with melted Monterey Jack, French toast stuffed with peaches and cream, and the ultimate hangover helper, chicken and waffles.
It's a big Belgian waffle, soft, fluffy, with these crunchy chicken wings on top. The salty and the sweet go great together. You just pour a ton of maple syrup on top, powdered sugar, and it's definitely a can't miss.
But for something a little healthier, there's one more family recipe you might want to try, and this one comes courtesy of Ellen's dad, the fresh cantaloupe bowl.
When my mother was out of town, my dad was an under strict instruction to make sure we had healthy breakfasts to start our day. So he would take a whole cantaloupe, cut it in half, scoop out the inside, and then fill it with cottage cheese, and then put fresh red grapes all over it. And it's a perfect healthy morning dish.
And if you opt for the healthy breakfast, then it's okay to treat yourself with a homemade dessert, like personal-sized pecan pie, Mom's peach cobbler, or Grandma Lucille's coconut cake. But no matter what you order, Ellen always makes sure that every meal at the Sweet Peach Diner is served with a heaping helping of old-fashioned Southern hospitality.
When people walk in the door here, I want to know their names. I want to know who my regulars are. I want to make sure that every table gets good attention and they know that they're welcome here. And I hope it feels like home for people.